We're back. We just had this really cool idea. Kyla, what is it? Tell me all about it.
I forgot.
We're going to send a letter to Cameron.
Oh, yeah!
From the British government.
I don't remember. I don't know if this is true or not. But all on TikTok today, I've been seeing, like, things that saying the UK is starting to draft people in the military, or that they made an announcement that they're going to war or something. I don't know. I saw it from a bunch of people on TikTok. I'm not going to read up on it. I just see it on TikTok. I don't know if it's true or not.
So you're saying that TikTok is not the most reliable source of information?
Of course not. So, but I think it was when, like, Russia started attacking Ukraine, or something happened, but Cameron was scared that he was going to get drafted for the military because he thought that if Europe got involved, that they were going to start drafting people. And he, like, said that he would, like, mutilate himself, like cut off his arms or something so he wouldn't have to go, because he's like, I'm never ever going to war. I will do anything to not go. And because of all these videos I'm seeing on TikTok, which I'm sure he's gonna see as well, and he'll probably read up on it and do a bunch of stuff, I think we should forge a paper and say that Europe
we should forge a document that he's been recruited or conscripted or yeah.
I don't know if we should say it's that. Should we say
I think that would be too far. I think
Europe?
that'd be go too far. No, you can't do it from Europe. It's from a country. You'd have to do it from a country. So
should we do it?
We should. I think it should be more like not saying that he has been conscripted, because that would be too obvious that it's fake. We could say that we're inviting all men from between this age and this age to.
But also on my free page, it's like, because like equal rights now and stuff, is that I've also seen a bunch of women on my free page saying that they're bloody hell not going. So I don't know if they're just telling everyone to go.
We could just say it's everyone, because you guys are too young.
Oh, well,
right? So we could just say that we're inviting, the government's inviting everyone
the
between
adult
this.
child.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. Say we're inviting everyone between the ages of 18 and 30 to start with, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Yeah. So why are they doing this, right? Why are they doing it?
Are you asking me?
There's two. Yeah, I am asking you. There's two. I think there's two immediate answers. First one being that there is conflict, right? We've got lots of conflict going on.
Yellow car.
And then also there is recruitment has been very low now compared historically to the military for both. I know in the UK, I would assume also in the US and Canada as well. And why do you think the recruitment could be down? Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't really see many people from my generation like going to do that. Like I don't. I could see Kobe doing it just because he's ballsy as hell.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't see.
So this is hard for you and I to talk about, because you didn't grow up during my era, during my generation, and I'm observing your generation, but not through the same lens, right? Like I'm comparing to my generation, but my generation was like, I've got a scope like this because I got the friends, the people that I hung around with, and so maybe I didn't have a good overall view of what was going on. But I'm willing to bet that it's hard for boys to be boys, guys to be guys anymore compared to my generation, because of all of the media and the talk and the social stuff around toxic masculinity, and basically just it's not okay to be a guy anymore. Combine that with all the hormones they stick in the food. I don't know, like I think there's a lesser percentage of guys being guys because we're told we're wrong. We're wrong for existing. You're wrong for your ideologies. You're part of the problem because you're part of the patriarchy. You're racist just because you're white. You're privileged just because you're white. And I think,
I would say that you do have like a certain privilege as a.
Well, I'm not, you know, I'm not denying that. In fact, that wasn't even part of the conversation that I meant to say. What I mean by it, though, not talking about whether there is or isn't privilege. Aside from that, I sort of mean like, if you are a person and you're told that you're either bad or you're not good enough, or because you're privileged you have to succumb to others, or at least you're constantly being held down, I think that would have an effect psychologically on your ability to meet your potential. Assuming we're talking about meeting only good potential, because everybody has potential for good, everybody has potential for bad. But what I mean is, if you're being repressed, that's the word I was looking for. I think a lot of people are being repressed because of all of these various factors, right? I'm not denying in any way privilege. I'm just suggesting that nonetheless people are being repressed. And I think that happens more now than it did when I was growing up. So I think if somebody's being repressed consistently, that they might have less of a desire maybe to get into something like the military, which would be seen, which could easily be seen, I think, as something that's more masculine. Not saying it should or shouldn't be, I'm just saying I think that there would be a perception towards that.
Well,
I've got my idea there. I don't think I said it very eloquently, but what do you think?
I do
How do you react?
too. I saw the firemen on the scooters and I just kind of, did you say that like men are more thing for the military?
I think that the perception would be that if you're in the military, you should be more masculine because you're doing more masculine types of things. And therefore, I think more people are not joining the military because masculinity is socially deemed as negative these days.
Well, I do think that like it's obvious facts that men are they're just built stronger than women, and that's just how like anatomy is, and there you go. But so going in the field in the military, it is a really like physical thing, and for a woman to do it, the same things that a man would do, they would have to put in so much more effort than the man would. So to have to be able to do the same things that the men will be doing, as a woman you'd have to like work a lot harder. You'd have to like do a lot more stuff that would be easier for a man to do. I'm not saying that every single man, like you could have a scrawny tiny little man and you could find a brown woman on the street and you could bet that she'd be stronger than him. But I'm saying generally men are stronger than women, and if you're a man in the military, if anyone in the military, you go through military training, right? So you get like jacked up, you can fight, you can do stuff now, you know, basic combat. And for a woman to do that, it's a lot harder for her to do it than the man to do that. And so I feel like if you're a woman going into the military, you'd have to have probably more of a masculine attitude or way about you. And like once you get all like jacked up and stuff and you know all the basic combat, you're surrounded by basically all men once you're in the military, then you are the people, you turn into the people you hang out with, though they will become more masculine, I think. But that's just that's my.
Okay, but what about just the more specifically towards men and the lack of men joining the military?
Well,
I was trying to say more that I think part of the reason why less men are joining the military these days is because socially masculinity is perceived as toxic and wrong and bad compared to when I was younger. And so men tend to suppress their masculinity because they're taught that it's wrong. And by now having less masculine men, we now have less joining the military. That's my hypothesis off the tip of my tongue without actually thinking about it. So if I thought about it, I might actually think I'm wrong. But that's my initial thought. What do you think about that? And that's why now governments are trying to promote the military because their numbers are so low. Do you think I'm right or wrong? In either way, why?
I could see an element of truth to that, yeah. I think, I don't know about your generation, I don't know about my generation joining the army. I'm sure that there would be tons more people of your generation having joined the army than compared to my generation, but, and I do think that, like, it is the entire idea of, like, toxic masculinity stuff, and I do think that, like, yeah, toxic masculinity does exist, but I also think that there's a point of just let people be. It's okay, it's fine.
I think we should do a whole podcast with your face one day soon, where we talk
Kobe
and Kyla and Chloe, and we'll all talk about.
I'm sure Kobe has a lot to say about
toxic
this.
masculinity. I want to do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. All right.
Kobe will have a lot to say.
Yeah, let's go. I'm hungry.
Right.
Give me 5 right here. There we go. I wanted to see the 5.
Dad.
I wasn't expecting your face to come over, but I wanted your hand to come in at least that way. They know you're